Hello! Welcome back! We're here for some Ultima 6 with my favorite edition, Boat Song. I don't actually know that. There's always Boat Song. Anyways, we have the lovely CloudyShoe with us. Hello! Welcome!
Hello.
You ready to do some boating?
Yes, I am. I'm told that the boat won the Sprite Bid War.
It did. It was really close, y'all. You worked really hard. There were 5 options, and until the last second, you had 4 of them at $14, which, you know what? I appreciate the gumption of a 4-way tie. However, we had someone come through at the last minute and break that tie. So I'm just going to read these donations real quick before we start. We had $14 from Anonymous. We had $9 from Anonymous. We had another $14 from Anonymous, and the tie-breaking donation was $20 from Squibs. Vote for the boat song! Good luck on being the best worst avatar you can be. And it's actually Squibs who taught me about boat songs, so you know what? I'm here for this. But with that, we're ready to go whenever you are, CloudyShoe, so just count us in when you're ready.
Okay, let's just get this set up. We didn't have a naming incentive, but I'll give chat a free one, and we'll go with Elf.
Oh, yeah. Love that for us.
All right, and on this screen we want 1 is the fastest text speed, and of course that is what we want. And the timer will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Ultima 6, which if you take the other 3 Ultima games that I've played so far, 1, 2, and 3, you can either add them or multiply them, and you get Ultima 6. So at the beginning of the game here, we start in this fight with gargoyles. But if you just equip your spell book and use the spell that teleports you back to the very spot that you start, everything ends up okay. As you might know from watching other Ultima runs, the avatar the avatar of virtue, in speedruns is not conventionally virtuous, let's put it that way. But we didn't start any stealing yet. Because Lord British said we could use whatever we could find in the castle. So we don't start the stealing until we get into town. And then we have all of our friends take off all of their armor, and one of them has swamp boots that make it so you don't get poisoned in a swamp. And we say, I'm gonna need you to hand those over. Because I'm kind of more important than you, so.
I mean, you're the avatar. That's how it goes.
It's all about, what eventually leads to the greater good. So we talked to a little girl there and told her, and she said she's in like a traveling carnival. And she dances, and she said, "Did you like my dancing?" I said, "Sure," and that gave us 10 karma, which makes all of our prices lower. So that's great. And then it'll also help in a minute here. Okay, just want to make sure I got all those menus. So you might wonder why there were gargoyles in the castle at the beginning of the game. Well, after Ultimas 1, 2, and 3, the world's kind of messed up. Like Ultima 3, like they destroyed the world at the end. And so Ultima 4, you learn all about the virtues, and you find this book. And the book is the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom. And it turns out you kind of stole it from the gargoyles, and they're not too happy about it. So there's a war going on, sometimes happens. And so the goal of this game is to take that book and throw it in the void. And
I
here...
mean, that's where I put my books.
Yeah. So we need to collect 8 runes to get 8 moonstones. And we just got our first one by... so there's a child training to be a bard that we just talked to. And she said, we said, hey, we need that rune. It's kind of important. And she said, did my parents say it was okay? And we never talked to her parents. We just lied to the kid and said, yeah, it's fine. So we lost some karma for that, but it's a lot faster. And that is what matters, is saving the world as fast as possible. So now we need to buy one of the spells that is going to be required and steal an invisibility potion. Because we're going to need to be invisible in a little bit here.
And money is expensive.
Yes. So, and unfortunately, you can't buy invisibility potions in this game, or rings. You can find them in places, and some of them are stealing, and some of them are not. We just take the ones that are along the way. So right now, you might remember how I said my friend had some swamp boots that make it so you don't get poisoned in a swamp. Well, we're about to walk through a swamp. So, all of my friends are going to get poisoned, and I am not. And, since we were patching the ROM to, change the sprites, we also patch out the flashing that happens when you're poisoned. So normally the full screen flashes green. Alright. So, now we are underground where we need to get, because there's a tomb down here that has one of the runes that we need. So we're just going to do a little light grave robbing, like you do, you know, when you're being virtuous. And there's a key for this tomb, and you can get it like by talking to their relative, saying, hey, I need it, whatever. But that takes a lot of time. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take one of these powder cakes that we bought earlier. We're going to slap that on the ground. And we're going to get a 2-for-1 special here. And we're going to kill our friends and open a door. And we're not going to do that because we need that glass sword later. So now it is time for many people's favorite part of the run, for the boat song. I know we're already a boat.
Unmuting.
I know we're already a boat, but boats can't swim, or this boat can't swim. So we need another boat. And we get this jaunty tune. And that's all we get a boat song. Except for we get a little more...
I love that for us. I love how you just kind of literally, like, go through parts of islands.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's like there's only one tile, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we took a little detour there, but now we're back on track. And that's all we needed of the boat, so we just abandoned it. Thank you, boat, for your service. Okay, so now we need to dispel some fields here, and I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but we do allow turbo in this game. So this is one of the sections where normally we have the L or R on at almost all times, because it like cancels out of dialogue boxes. But when you're doing a spell or like using a powder keg to blow things up, it can cause those to fail. So we turn turbo off for that. So now we are on our way to get some balloon plans. Oh, and that is not good. So that is our first occasion showing how invisibility works in this game. Invisibility lasts as long as it lasts. There's no set time, there's no maximum or minimum. Just every step you take has a chance to break invisibility. And so in a speed run, you just use whatever items you've got and reset if it doesn't get there. But in a marathon setting, we make safety saves because there are only so many. Even if you go completely out of your way, there's only so many invisibility items you can get. So we just need it to last for a few more minutes, and we need these rats to get out of our way because there's not a whole lot we can do if they don't. Okay, so now this unfortunate fellow had some balloon plans on them. And now, if you remember Ultima's 1, 2, and 3 from earlier in the marathon, the bosses of those games, Mondrain, Minax, and Exodus, well, the gargoyles, resurrected their spirits or something, and now they're in these shrines. And so we're going to talk to them. So, one of them, I can't remember which one exactly at this moment, is fairly disappointed when we ask what their name is, that we don't remember them. They're like, "Don't you remember me?" And we're like, "No, we've killed a lot of people since then." As you do when you're virtuous. But in the world of Ultima, as long as, you're virtuous in the end, a lot of questionable virtue things can happen along the way. I guess we'll do this now. And now we'll talk to you. And these volcanoes you might see on the ground are also an RNG factor, where they can just explode and cause a lot of damage and probably kill you. So that is another reason why we make some saves along the way when we're doing marathons. So that was our final gargoyle shrine. And now we are going to place one of our runes that we got earlier, and that is going to give us a moonstone. And moonstones, we're going to set up one here shortly. We have the orb of the moons, which is the thing we've been using to warp around, but moonstones create moon gates, and that will take you to different places depending on what phase the moon is in. And our invis broke there, but that is fine. So we're going to set one up here because this town, we're going to need to come back to the town we're walking to again, and it takes a long way to get there. But we're just doing some walking here, so if there's any announcements or donations you want to go through, now's a good time.
Well, let us see what we have got. Taking a look at Tiltify here. Well, what I can tell you is we are still working on some of those donations for our upcoming games. We have definitely made progress towards rescuing the princess. We now have $117 out of a needed $200. So that is, if I'm doing some illegal math, about $83 left. I didn't do math. You did math. So we're getting so close. We have until the end of Ultima here, which as you see is 30 minutes. And after Super Solvers, which is like 8 minutes. It's something really short. So you're going to want to do that. We want to save the princess. Yes, I know I did illegal math. Donate to tell me off. Otherwise, I will feel no shame. Other things we have coming up. After that, we have Sky Gunner, and we want to voice those cutscenes. That's gonna take some work as well, though. But let's save our princess. What? Who? I'm not reading that out, Squibs. I can't. It's not a donation. We also have the option to choose a party for Phantasy Star 4. We have Team C, which is Chaz, Rika, Rune, Ren, and Grease, or Team S, which is Demi, Rika, Alice, Kyra, and Seth. If I mispronounced any of those, sorry, not sorry. Right now, neither is in the lead, so any donation at all will pick a party. We also have a naming incentive for our favorite Final Fantasy, Mystic Quest. And very predictably for us, Alpha's in the lead. You also have the options of Genya23, Magus, Nikos, or the Jets? Question mark?
Alright, so we've just been going around town talking to everyone, because that's how you get the rune in this town, is you ask the mayor about the rune, and he sends you to talk to all but one person on the island, and what they end up telling you is that the mayor has it. So, that's great. Unfortunately, in the SNES version of things, you can't just kill NPCs and take what they have. So we have to go through the whole thing. But we got some more of our balloon stuff done. We took some spider silk and got it made into silk thread, and we got that silk thread made into a silk cloth. So this town, they hid their rune under a thief came and stole their rune and hid it under a plant in the tavern. So, there's a long way to figure that out, but if you know where it is, you can just take it. So now, one of the most important parts of the run, we're going to buy a log.
I mean, I don't see, that sounds perfectly logical.
Alright. So, we bought a log. And NPCs in this game have schedules, and that NPC spends most of their time inside eating a turkey leg. So that is one of the things that we have to schedule out. And
Same.
Okay, so 2 things happen there. One of them is that we missed our Moongate timing, which is based on your steps count. The other one is that we died.
Love that for us. Can I read a donation then in the meantime?
Yep.
Excellent. So we got a $5 donation from Tom who says, uh-oh, stinky. And you know what? That proves it. I can't argue with donations. It's the law. So thanks for that. And if you want to tell me any other cool things, within the realm of respectability, I will absolutely read them out. I will even say that math is not illegal. I might be wrong, but I'll say it.
Hopefully it's not illegal, because the next game's going to have a bunch of math.
Okay, we'll lift it just for that game, though, but we're not on that game yet, so currently still illegal. Oh, hey, speaking of which, we got a $5 donation from Anonymous saying, they did the math! Single they! It was Natara! Natara did the math! I, once again, cannot argue with that. It is a donation and therefore the law. So I did all the math. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go. It's jail time. 'Cause I did the illegal math, but it was me. I did it. And I'll do it again if you donate.
Alright, so now we have a bag for our balloon. Which is good. And now we're going to go to this inn here to reset the time of day so that everything for the rest of the run will be on schedule. And this rune, I don't remember how it got there, but there is, it's hidden in this tavern in a hole that only a mouse can fit in. So we had bribed Sherry earlier with some cheese, And so Sherry agreed to help us out. And
That's a reference to
get
another
that room.
game. That's a reference to another Ultima game. I know that. Squibs taught me that.
Yep. Yeah, there's the only song that is played in Ultima 5 NES is about Sherry and her love of cheese. Also, so there's a karma system in this game, and Sherry is exempt from it. Sherry can steal whatever she wants, and you don't lose any karma. And as you might have noticed as well, it didn't happen in this case because we'd already died and all our friends had resurrected. But in the Japanese version of this game, there's a bug where when you use Sherry, all your friends come back to life. So Sherry is secretly a necromancer as well.
I mean, fair? If there was a mouse named Sherry who I had to give cheese and had a song, I'm not going to question that they're a necromancer. And knowledge, yep.
Yeah. So when we got to this town, we took that log we bought earlier, and we had it cut into boards. And then we had those boards turned into panpipes. And the guild leader in this town has the rune and said, okay, you need to learn to play this song. And so we picked up Gweno, who I accidentally dismissed there, but Gweno, who is a bard, and is also married to Yolo, who's in our party, to teach us Stones, a song that she wrote. Which makes you wonder, like, shouldn't Yolo know this song? Shouldn't he be able to teach it to us? But I don't know. So we play it twice. If you you can end up playing it multiple times if you mash through things. But that didn't happen, because if you do that, it's about a 15-second time loss. But now we're on our way to get our last balloon part, which is the basket of the balloon. So we found that balloon plant earlier on that unfortunate fellow. This is that fellow's daughter. We just said, hey, we found these balloon plants, and she's like, these look a lot like the ones that my dad made. And we say, huh, that's funny, and ask if she can make them for us. And then we go along on our way. So the nice thing about the balloon here is that it moves twice as fast as walking. It's also required for a part later, but normally it's 16 frames per tile when you're walking, and it is only 8 when you're in the balloon. So that was Belle-Em. That's all we need to know is their name. And we can go down here to Captain John. So that boat song earlier, that song is called Captain John's Hornpipe. But we don't need a hornpipe right now. We just need a Gargish text, which is kind of like a magical Gargish Duolingo. So now we can speak Gargish and understand it and talk to gargoyles. Well, not quite yet. Now we can. Because as fast as you can read it, you can learn Gargish. So now we need to talk to this gargoyle is Valkadesh, who's going to tell us about the prophecy and how some believe that we are a false prophet, which is where the name comes from. We're also going to play this banger of a tune. And while we're in the gargoyle world, which you may have seen the void there, it's kind of falling apart and it's kind of our fault, but who can really say? While we're here, we're going to steal this sacred broken lens from their museum. But don't worry, it's fine. We're going to get it fixed for him. We're going to give it back eventually. It's not stealing if you plan on giving it back, right?
I mean, that sounds legit to me.
So there we just kind of lied to another gargoyle and said, sure, we'll behave or whatever. And they give us an amulet to wear that says that we're okay now. So gargoyles will no longer attack us on sight. And now we're going up to the gargoyle lens crafter, who's going to take the broken lens that we just got, and they're going to fix it for us and turn it into a regular lens that lenses things, because that's what lenses do.
Are we lighting things on fire? Because that's what I used to do with lenses.
Not quite.
Oh, fair.
There will be a void involved, though, so.
I like that too. Also, before we do that, do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we got $50 from Fluffball, which says, "You'll spend this better than I will," which, no guarantees, but I'm sure Take This will. We trust them implicitly. So thank you so much for that. We're so close to rescue the princess, y'all. We are $33 away. Just $33. And we're going to save that princess.
Alright, so in this section of the run, we take all those runes that we got earlier, and we turn them into moonstones by going to these shrines and cleansing them with the runes, and that unlocks the moonstones that you can see there. And so we've got, and that is not the right one, it's Valor. We did a few of these earlier, a couple of them. So we're going to get the rest of them here, because we need all 8 of these moonstones so that we can return the codex. Alright, so now we need to go to the Shrine of Sacrifice, which is right here. And this one is, I never used to have any problems with this shrine, but decided to be, we're good today. There are gremlins that can spawn here that will just attack you and waste your time. So we did not get those today, which is great. So now we've gotten all of our moonstones. We need a fancy box to put them in. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna get a fancy box. And this is another occasion where there's going to be a door that you're supposed to, go through some stuff. In this case, there are Cyclopses who want some fish, and if you give them a fish, they'll give you a key. But who needs keys when you can just blow up doors? So that is what we're going to do here. And we're going to get the Vortex Cube, which is a fancy kind of void-looking black box, and is in this castle here that luckily has no enemies in it. So it's a real smooth time going through here. We just need to get rid of this poison field here, and now we're gonna blow up this door. Because who needs keys when you can just blow up doors? We're gonna get our warp ready here, and this is surrounded by fields, so we just need to get rid of one of them so we can get our nice shiny black box. And now we got the gargoyle lens earlier. We need to put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's probably hid. Where is our last moonstone? Oh, I might not have picked it up. Alright, well, we'll get that in a minute. Okay. So, when you put down a moonstone, you're supposed to pick it up when you use it for gate travel. Unfortunately, we did not do that earlier. So it's going to have a slight detour. So we're going to have some time for donations or announcements or whatever you've got.
I love all of those things. Huge fan. I'm definitely not doing work in the background. So, we are here. This is Speedrun Ragnarok 2022. Yes, you heard me. 2022. We are living in the past because scheduling things with other marathons. Listen, we like to play nice with our friends, the other marathons. And so we delayed our marathon so they could have a good one. And so this is 2022. 2023 will be in October-ish. We don't have official dates. Don't ask us. I'm sorry. So we are fundraising for Take This, an amazing charity who helps with specifically mental health in gaming spaces. One of their specialities is the AFK room, which is a quiet room, low sensory room, which they try and have at as many conventions as they can, like a lot of the different PAX events. I used one personally at PAX Unplugged, and it's amazing. The lights are down. It's very quiet. They have coloring books, things to do. They also make sure they have trained staff there in case you need to talk to a mental health professional. So it is an amazing cause. And $10,000 will pay for an entire AFK room at a new event for a year. It will cover everything they need, paying staff, getting supplies, renting costs. So we're very into that. So please help us. We've already raised half of an AFK room. So that alone is going to help them a lot. So we just want to help a little more.
All right. So we picked up that moonstone that we dropped earlier. And now we're right here. We're going to use this vortex cube on the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom here, and that's time. So we've got a little cutscene here. So you may remember, well, first of all, Lord British here shows up and is kind of mad. So we say, hold on, we'll explain things in a second. And the gargoyles show up, they're pretty mad too. But we just tell him, we had LeVar Burton as our character in Ultima 1 here. So just take a look. It's in a book, A Reading Rainbow.
I mean, any rainbow, good rainbow.
Yeah, and it tells them to get along, and they do, and nothing bad ever happens again. Or, probably.
So we don't give the book back, we throw it in the void, and it tells us, please be friends, but you can't have your book back.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Love that. And you know what else I love? We got $20 from Grey Goo Girl, who says, here's $20 towards Natara's math jail bail. Thank you. I need that. I don't want to be here. Math is scary. I leave that to the professionals who are not me, who have a special dispensation to do illegal math. Not me. So, thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, $13 left for Rescue the Princess, y'all. So ready. And yes, it's all Lord British's fault. Always, without fail.
Yep. So if anyone's interested in any Ultima speedruns, you can check out the Ultima Speedrun Discord, and there's plenty of people there who are glad to help with whatever game that
we have a link to that Discord.
I don't know. I don't have one on hand, but there is one
Fair enough.
on all of the Ultima leaderboards on speedrun.com. Have a link to it.
There you go, speedrun.com. Go there. They will find the leaderboards for Ultima games and go hang with the cool people. We have a bunch of Ultima runners here, and they've all been very cool so far. So, that must mean that Ultima speedrunning is cool. I mean, I don't make the rules. Well then, in that case, are you ready to go with our next game?
Yeah. We'll just need a little setup. And we'll be good.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna hop away for a few moments then, and we'll be back shortly with what is this? This is Super Solvers Outnumbered.